So we are in the paper of December 2017. In the paper of December 2017, question 5. Question 5C. Question 5C. So the question states that the data below relates to normal duration and cost along with class duration and cost for each activity of a certain project. So we are given all that. The indirect cost of the project is 600,000 per day. You are told to get all those things. So that question is on network analysis. It's a network analysis. And this kind of a question, I told you what you do. This kind of a question, what you do, you begin by and have the activity here. Have the activity there. And we have crash costs minus normal costs divided by normal time minus crash time gives you something known as cost slope. Gives you something known as cost slope. It gives you something known as cost slope. So you draw a table like that. So we have so we start with activity 1 to 2. 1 to 2, which I will call A. If the figures are in thousands, I will take 3,800 minus 2,800. The normal time is 6 minus 4. Then I come to 1 to 3, which is B. I call it B. The cost is 5,600 minus 4,000. We have 8 to 5. Then 2 to 3, C. It is 3,000 and 2,200. We have 4 and 2. 2 to 4 is a dummy, so we go to 3 to 4. 3 to 4, which is, oh, sorry, not 3 to 4. That is 2 to 4. 2 to 4 equal to 2,800 minus 1,600. So we have 3 and 2. Then E, which is 3 to 5. 3 to 5 equal to that 200 and 1,800. Then this is 6 to 3. Then 4 to 6, that is F. We have 7,000 minus 5,000. This is 10 to 6. Then 5 to 6, which is G. I have 1,600 minus 1,000. This is 3 to 2. That is 3 to 2. So let me give you the answers, then you tell me whether you agree or you don't. The first one will be 1,000 divided by 2, that is 500. 5,600 minus 4,000, you divide by 3 is 5,3. Then 800 you divide by 2 is 400. 2,800 minus 1,600 you divide by 1 is 1,200. Then that's 200 minus 1,800 you divide by 3 is 467. 2,000 divided by 4 is 500. 600. That is 600. So that is what I have. If you are in agreement, write and let me know whether you agree. Zero is in agreement. Aris. Waiting for Catherine and Lilian. Okay, now Catherine and Diana, I think we proceed. So the next thing is to come up with a sketch. Let's come up with a sketch. Let us come up with a sketch. The sketch will be 1 to 2, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 2 to 3 down there, 2 to 4, 3 to 4, 3 to 5, 4 to 6, and 5 to 6, and 5 to 6. So this is the network diagram. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 1 to 2 is A. 1 to 3, we call it B. 2 to 3, we will call it C. 2 to 4, we will call it D. 3 to 5, we call it E. 4 to 6, is F, and 5 to 6 is G. And there was a candidate 3 to 4. 3 to 4 is dame. So dame wa inachorwa hivyo. So this is dame. That way. So for the normal time, 1, 2, 6, the crash is 4. 1 to 3, 8, 5, 2 to 3, 4, 2, 2 to 4, 3, 2, 3, 2, dame is 0, 0, 3 to 5, 6, 3, 4 to 6, 10, 6, 5 to 6, we have 3, 2. 3, 2. Okay, then from there, let us do the forward. So beginning with the normal. Are we ready? I do the forward. If you are ready, Adika, yes. If you are ready, we do the forward together. Adika, yes. Yes, Wajiro. Alice, good. Catherine and Eliana. Let me know whether you are ready. Catherine and Liana, maybe you get us. Liana must have just arrived home now. Okay, Catherine. Okay. So now we do the normal. Let's do the normal. This is 0, 0 plus 6. We get 6 here. Then when we come here, there are 2 arrows. When we get here, there are 2 arrows, so it is 6 plus 4, that is 10. And 0 plus 8, that is 8. So we go for 10. When we get here, 2 arrows, so 10 plus 0, 10. 6 plus 3, 9. So we go for 10. Then to put up 10 plus 6, that is 16, because it's 1 arrow. When we get here, 16 plus 3, 19. 10 plus 10, 20. So we go for 20. So you put 20 there. Then we begin. This is 20 here. So 20 minus 3, that is 17. 20 minus 10, that is 10. Then when we come back here, this is 10 minus 0, 10. 17 minus 3, 14. We always go for the smaller, so this is 10. When we come back here, it is 10 minus 4, 6. And this is 10 minus 3, 7. So we go for the smaller, which is 6. And this is 0. So the dummy, sorry, the critical part, I told you, you check whether the times are equal. So you can see A satisfies, these are equal, and even B. So there is a possibility that both of them are critical. That is A and B. But before you say they are critical, you need to confirm this. If a person passes through A to C, the journey will take 6 plus 4, that is 10 days. But if a person took route B, it will take 8, and therefore 8 is shorter. So the shorter one is non-critical. The longer is the one which is critical. So the critical is A and C. Then we come here. You find that D also satisfies. So again, you are supposed to check from here. If a person was to follow this route and then to come there, it will take them 4 plus 0, that is 4 days. Akipitia D, it will take 3 days. So 3 is shorter, and therefore D is not critical. So the critical one is this dummy. Dummy is critical. And then it goes without saying that F must be critical. F must be critical. Remember, this is our network diagram. Remember, this is the network diagram. Network diagram. That's our network diagram. Then we do the same thing with the crash. So this is 0 plus 4, that is 4. 4 plus 2, 6. This is 5, so we go for 6. 6 plus 0, 6. This is 6. So both of them are 6. Then 6 plus 3, 9. 9 plus 2, that is 11. 6 plus 6, that is 12. So we go for 12. 12 minus 2, that is 10. 12 minus 6, that is 6. 6 minus 6, that is 6 here. Then this is 4, and this is 0. That is 0. So again, checking what we have said or how we have said it should be checked. You realize that this one is not critical because it has 5, but A and C are critical, 2 and 4, that is 6. Then this one, D now becomes critical. D now becomes critical because ukipitia hapa kwa D, it is 2 days. Ukipitia C, it is 2 plus 0. So even D now has become critical. So even D has become critical. So even D has become critical. So add those costs, the normal costs, add the normal cost, and you send me the figure for the normal costs. You send me 2,800 plus 4,000 plus 2,200 plus 1,600 plus 1,800 plus 5,000 plus 1,000. Send me the figure. Why is B not critical? It is because it is shorter. You see, if you are using the normal time, if you are using the normal, B is 8, while A to C, it is 6 plus 4, that is 10. It is shorter. And if you're using the crash, it is 4 plus 2, 6, and B is 5. So is that okay, Eliana? Even using crash time, we have already explained. It is shorter, it has 5. Good. So I can see Aris, I can see Wajiro setting 18,400. We have 18,400. Let's do the same for the crash. Give me the crash, 3,800 plus 5,600 plus 3,000 plus 2,800 plus that's 200 plus 7,000 plus 1,600. Send me the figure. Here's what 27,000. Someone else to confirm. the total of the normal costs, of the crash costs. Yeah, Ali is also confirmed. Good. So now, the next thing is to record, let us record this crash, or rather these strokes here. So for A, we have 500, B, 533, C, I have 400, D, I have 1200, E, I have 467, and then F, I have 500, and G, I have 600. G, I have 600. Okay, so let's answer the question. We come to the normal. We come to the normal. So for normal, we are told about normal. There are two things. One is the duration. Duration is 20 days. Is 20 days. Then the cost is 18,400,000 plus we are told every day there is a site cost of 600,000. So you multiply by 20. You multiply by 20, do that and give me the answer. Send me the answer. This one. Yes, Wajiro, Eriana, 3,400. So it's 30,400,000. 30,400,000. Good. Even Aris. Good. The next thing that we are told to get is the minimum duration. Now, when you see the minimum duration, it is important, first of all, to check the savings, to uncrash. But you see now here, they are saying the minimum and the optimum. So if we are just to go for the minimum, we will argue like this. The minimum duration is 12 days. is 12 days. The minimum duration is 12 days. Then the cost, you take the 27 million that we have gotten plus 600,000 times 12. Times 12. So work out that and send me the answer. Oh, good. Huh? The answer? Yes, I can see what you are saying. Someone else to confirm? Yes, Eliana, good. That 4,200,000. That 4,200,000. So for you now to talk about the optimum, you must check whether there will be any savings. You must check whether there will be any savings. So down here, I will have the activity. I will have the activity here. And then we have savings. We have savings. So point number one is this, that the cost slope is the amount by which cost goes up for every 1 day you reduce the duration. Is the amount by which cost goes up for every 1 day you reduce the duration. And I told you, you should only reduce the duration of the critical. The non-critical should be taken back to the extent that they don't affect, the completion period here. Completion period. Now there is something here that the question has introduced, that every day there is a site cost of 600. So that means for every 1 day we do not work in that site, we save ourselves 600. We save ourselves 600 shillings. The meaning of that is any activity whose slope is more than 600, it is not economical to crash it. Any activity whose slope is more than 600 is not economical to crash it. Now, looking at this table, can you see an activity whose slope is more than 600? If yes, type for me which activity is that. Any activity whose slope is more than 600. You can see it, type. Here's Ariana, see. Here's Wajiro. Catherine, are you still getting us? We are not getting anything from you. Yes, Alice, I can see. So it is D. So that means D, number 1, should be returned back. So Rudy hapa useme +1. You put +1 because it has been denied 1 day. So when you add 1, you check the implication. So the implication as far as the crash time is concerned is that now going forward, we will say 4 + 1 + 2, that is now 7. So come here, this one, and do something like this, you tell us that is 7. That is 7. Ariana, I have said, yeah, the general rule is you crash, or rather you uncrash the non-criticals. You uncrash the non-criticals as long as they don't affect the completion time of 12. That is the rule. But then I have said, this question introduces something else. That every day you are on that site, there is a cost of 600. The one that we are multiplying this one. The meaning of that is, if you reduce the duration by 1 day, you save yourself 600. But if reducing that will make you to incur more than 600, then it is not worth. And that is the point at which I have said, identify any activity whose slope is more than 600. Like now, this one B, which we have identified, it means ukipunguza D by 1 day, you save 600, but you will have spent 1200. So it does not make economical sense because you end up spending more by 600. That's why now I'm saying we can crash it, although it was critical. Eliana, is that okay? Good. All right. So we are checking now the implication. So here nimesema going forward it is 7. Now if it is 7, remember this one was 4 plus 2, 6. So that therefore means when you do that, this is no longer critical. And going forward, you will say 7 plus 6. So instead of 12, this is 13. So put up on 7, this is 13. That is 13. And if it is 13, even this one changes. Put 13 there. Even that one changes. So we start backwards. So 13 minus 2. Instead of 10, this is now 11. It's now 11. Then we go back here. 13 minus 6. So this one, instead of being 6, it is now 7. It is now 7. When we come here, it will be 7 minus 0, 7. 11 minus 3, that is 8. So we record the smaller. So this one now, instead of being 6, it will be 7. 7. Then 7 minus 2, that is 5. And this one will be 7 minus 2 minus 1, 4. So these ones remain. So that is the effect. That is the effect of uncrashing B by 1 day. Kirudisha. Naona hiyo mzunguko inaendelea. That is the effect. So let's now go back to our normal concept. Our normal concept of uncrashing the non-criticals. So the first one we shall touch. The first one we shall touch. Tunaanzia hapa. Tukianza hapa, the critical now is A, B. So if these two people were to start from here, number 1, they would meet in number 4. So in between there, we have 2 activities. Between number 1 and number 4, we have 2 non-criticals. We have B and we have C. We have B and we have C. I told you when you have more than one, you begin with the one that has a higher slope. you begin with the one that has a higher slope. So we are going to begin with B. So let's see what will happen. B has been denied 3 days. Has been denied 3 days. So if you add back 3, if you add back 3, going forward, it will be 0 plus 3 plus 5. 0 plus 3 plus 5. That will be equal to what? That will be equal to what? 8. Eliana Wajiro. I'm saying 0 plus 3 plus 5. Yes, 6. I mean 8. Good. Yeah. Alice, yeah. And if it will be 8, the latest that we should be there is day 7. The latest. So if we finish by 8, are we going to be late? Tutachelewa. And by how many days? If yes, by how many days? Yes, by 1 day. Good. Yes, by 1 day. Now, tumechelewa by 1 day because we added 3 days. That means we should have added 2 days so that we are not late. We should have added 2 days. So we go back here and we cancel this that way. We say add back 2. And when you add back 2, this one now becomes 7. That one now becomes 7. So when it becomes 7, you are not late because the latest you expected here is 7. Aya, tukuje kwa C. C imenyang'anywa 2 days from 4 to 2. Remember, C is no longer critical now. It's no longer critical. So we add back the 2 days. We add back 2 days. So when we add back 2 days, you will say, going forward, 4 plus 2 plus 2, that is equal to what? 4 plus 2 plus 2 equals 8. Good. And we are expected here by the what? 7. So are we going to be late? And by how many days? Are we going to be late? And by how many days? Yes, by 1 day. Yes, by 1 day. So we are late by 1 day because we added 2. So that means we were supposed to have added 1. So we come back here, this one we cancel, and we say add back 1. So when you add back 1, this now becomes 7. So we are doing this, Damage, no problem. Damage, no problem. And from there, we have 2 activities remaining, E and G. So we start with the highest or the higher. So this one has been denied 1 day. So come back here and add 1. You add 1. So if you add 1, now that this one is coming to the end here, we will start from the end there to argue like this. If we do not want to be late, kama tunataka kumaliza by 13, then this one should be 13. This one should be 13 minus 2 minus 1, which is 10. That one should be 13 minus 2 minus 1, which is 10. So it's not now 11. So let's see whether this one, which is preceding, will allow this one to start by day 10. And this is done this way. E can start day 7. So we will say 7 plus 3 is equal to 10. So are we going to be late here? Are we going to be late? No. You're not going to be late. So if we are not going to be late, yeah, we are on time. So this is okay. So cancel this one so that now we remain that 10. And that's all. This one now hakuna kitu tunaongeza because tumeona it is 50. This one hakuna kitu ya kuongeza. So with that now, we come and do the savings. So A, we have not added anything, but B, we have added 2 days. B, 2, each with 5 and 3. And it was 5 that 3, 3 that 3. Let's put it in full. I see we have added 1, and it has 400,000. Remember, these figures were in thousands. D, we have added back 1 day, which has 1,200,000. E, we have not added, but G, we have added back 1 day with 600,000. With 600,000. So if you take your calculator and say 533 times 2 is 10, 666. This is 400,000. This is 1,200,000. This is 600,000. So plus 22. The total here is 3,266,000. So that is the total. Okay, I hope we have agreed that. We have agreed to that. So if we have agreed, then we can now come and give optimum. Optimum is the most economical. So we will say duration duration is 13 days. And then the cost will be, this crash cost, the crash cost of 34,200,000. Now this one, remember it was for 12 days. So we first of all add 600 for 1 day. This is for the 13th day. Then you less the savings. Check whether you are getting that 1,000,533,334. Check whether that is what you have, and let me know. Rihanna, you're saying all that crashing for 2 marks. Yes, and those 2 marks, I keep on telling you, they are very, very important. They are very, very important. They can make you to proceed to section 5, or they can have you listen to me again for another semester. So are we okay now? We proceed to the next question. Rihanna is okay. The others, are we okay? We proceed. Alice is also okay. Okay, 1-0, good. Aye. So let us go to the next paper. Let us go to the next paper. So we are now in the paper of May 2017. We are in the paper of May 2017. And in the paper of May 2017, we go to question 1C that says the average revenue and marginal costs functions of a certain company are given by, we are given that and we are told to get the profit function. So that is question 1C, and that is from the topic of functions. Is from the topic of functions. So as we have been saying, you begin by saying total profit. Total profit is equal to total revenue minus total costs. Total revenue minus total costs. So if you begin with total costs, you can see we are given the marginal cost. So you will have to integrate 9x squared minus 14x plus 180 with respect to x. With respect to x. So in doing this, you get 9x squared, you add back 1. You add back 1. You divide by 2 plus 1 minus 14x raised power 1. You add back 1. You divide by 1 plus 1. You add back 180, which is currently x raised power 0. You add back 1. You divide by 0 plus 1 plus c, the constant of integration. And this reduces to 3x cubed minus 7x squared plus 180x plus c. C is the fixed cost. So the fixed cost, we are told it is 25. The fixed cost, we are told it is 25. Now we proceed to look for total revenue. When you go to the total revenue, you find that they have given you average revenue 650 minus 15x. So this one we will multiply by x. We will multiply by x. And it opens up as 650x minus 15x squared minus 15x squared. And therefore, total profit should be equal to 650x minus 15x squared, you minus the total cost, which is 3x cubed minus 7x squared plus 180x plus 25. So pi should then be 650x minus 15x squared minus 3x cubed plus 7x squared minus 180x minus 25. Minus 25. So putting items together, you will say 650 minus 180. 650 minus 180, you get 470. So pi is equal to 470x. 470x. This square, it is minus 15 plus 7. That gives us minus 8x squared. Minus 8x squared. X squared minus 3x cubed minus 3x cubed minus 25. So that is the profit function. That is the profit function. The question says the profit that therefore that will maximize profits. So you then proceed and say that for maximum profits, the differential pi with respect to x should be 0. That is, the differential pi with respect to x should be 0. That is 470 minus 16x minus 9x squared is 0. Is 0. So using quadratic formula, which we know so well is written as x is equal to minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4 is c minus 4 is c. You get the square root of this. You divide by 2a. Divide by 2a. You will get minus 16. That is 16 plus or minus 16 squared minus 4 times a. A is minus 9. times C, which is 470. This one we say 2 times A. A is minus 9. So we proceed and say 16 plus or minus. Here we divide by minus 18. So give me what is in the square root. What are you getting? I can see Eliana giving me 1.1.06. 1.1.06. Someone else to confirm? Someone else to confirm that figure? Yes, Wajiro confirms. Alice confirms. So then sasa hii takuwa namna hii. Takuwa 16 minus 1.1.06 you divide by minus 18 or 16 plus 1.1.06 you divide by minus 18. And this proceeds to become, if I say 16 minus 1.1.06 divided by minus 18, I have 6.39 or 16 plus 1.1.06 you divide by minus 18 is minus 8.17. So we ignore the negative. We go for 6.39, which you can call 7 units. Which you can call 7 units. And then you can tell us that if we are looking for maximum profit, unaweka this 7 kwa ile function, the profit which was 470 times 7 minus 8 times 7 squared minus 3 times 7 cubed minus 25. So what will be the profit amount? Yes, the question only wanted the 7, Ukisimamia hapo ni sawa, but there is no harm showing maximum profit. And there are some questions that we ask you to show that. Because the whole equation was in millions, you just use 7. Eliana, you use 7, then we have put it. So the answer that you shall get is the in millions. The answer that you shall get is the one that will be in millions. So send me the answer. Also to put those are 7 million units, but you cannot just put 7 million. You have to convert even the others. So it's better you just work with 7 that way. Yeah, Alice says 1844. 1844. Yes, Wajiro, good. So sasa hii, it is in millions. This one is in millions. That is in millions. So I hope we are okay with that. Eliana, are you okay? Okay, let's go to the next question, part B. Market Intelligence Research Limited carries out a study on 9 households to determine the monthly income levels and the amount of expenditure incurred by the households. Results of the study are as shown below. So we have the monthly income, the expenditure, then we are told to do the least squares inflation and the expenditure incurred. So between income and the expenditure, which one is X? Our X there, Nigani. Let me see. Between income and expenditure. Between income and expenditure, who determines the other one? Who is X? Let me see. Yeah, income determines. Good. That is what Eliana is saying, what Jiro is saying. So income is the one that determines your expenditure, but not the expenditure that determines your income. Okay, so I have always told you you start by writing the formula. So least squares function. The format is y is equals to a plus bx, where b is equal to n sum of xy minus sum of x sum of y n sum of x squared minus sum of x you square, and then a is sum of y minus b sum of x, you divide by n. You divide by n. So using calculator, b will be equal to, let us enter the values. I believe we all remember how to key in the values. We all remember how to key in the values. So in case you have forgotten, we said what you do, you press mode until you see regression. You press the number below the regression, depending on your calculator. Some calculators go for number 2, zingine ni number 1. Then you press linear, which is number 1. Then we start entering the values, and we are going to enter the values in the same form. You see, income is in thousands, but the expenditure is not in thousands. So even expenditure, we have to put it in thousands. So we drop the zeros. So that will be, you press 15, 2, m plus. So utaweka 2. Then the next one is 6, 0.2 m plus. The next is 9, 0.5 m plus. The next is 3, 0.5 m plus. The next is 20, 2.5 m plus. The next is 11, 0.8 m plus. The next is 14, 1.5 m plus. 10, 1.5 m plus. 12, 1.6 m plus. So if we are okay, for you to get the totals, I told you, you press shift button number 1. Naenda ukitafuta hizi. So like now for n we know it is 9. So I need n according to this. So 9 times sum of x, y. I move forward, I give it number 3. Press D and press equals 151.2. Then shift button number 1. Sum of x is 2 equals 100 times shift button number 1. Sum of y is 2 equals 11.1. Then I say 9 times sum of x squared, shift button number 1, that is 1 equals 1312 minus sum of x, which is 100 times 100. And then you get the answer. The answer we say you shift button number 2, you will pray forward where there is b, it is 2, then equals. We can work with 3 decimals, so 0.139. And then for the value of a, for the value of A, it is 11.1 minus 0.139 times 100 divided by 9. Divide by 9. And then you say shift pattern number 2, you replace where there is A. I'm getting minus 0.308 if I'm working to 3 decimals. Thus, y is equal to minus 0.308 plus 0.139x. And remember, the whole of this equation is in thousands. The whole of that equation is in thousands. So are we agreed? Are you agreeing with my answers? Yeah, I can see Wajiro, Eliana, and Alice, we have agreed. So when we are told the expenditure you have by the monthly, whose monthly income is 30. So when X is 30,000, Y should be minus 0.308 plus 0.139 times that. So you see now, when you come to substitute here, you must remember that the equation is in thousands, so that you substitute. Yes, in case you forgot to make the values correspond, you get everything wrong. You get everything wrong. At 0, you get everything wrong. So Ariana is saying that, is it 3862? 3.862. According to this, is 3.862, which now you can also say is 3862. Okay. Wajiro, umepata hiyo? Haya. So read question 2B for 1 minute. I'm back. I'll be back. Read question 2B. Question 2B. Okay. So if you have read 2b, question 2b is on probability theory. Probability theory. Probability theory. And we are told, number one, to use Poisson. We're told, number one, to use Poisson distribution. So for Poisson distribution, you quickly begin so for the Poisson, the formula we know, probability of x is equals to x is given as e raised to power minus lambda. Lambda you raise for x, you divide by x factorial. So remember, this represents the mean. And the mean is what we call x bar. Is what we call x bar. And I told you this one is given as sum of the xi's. You multiply by the probability of xi. You multiply by the probability of xi. So we are told that there are 30 machines. There are 30 machines, and the probability of failing is 0.015. So when you multiply that and get me the answer. Same as 30 times 0.015. 0.45. So you are told probability that's exactly 4. So probability that x is equal to 4 will be equal to e u raised to power minus 0.45 times 0.45 u raised to power 4. You divide by 4 factorial. You divide by 4 factorial. So in case you have forgotten how to go about it, look at what I have here. You go to this button, IN, natural rule. So first of all, you say shift natural rule so that you get E on the screen. Then you press this one for the negative. E kwa negative upper brackets minus 0.45. Kwanza unasema equals. Then you say times 0.45 raised to power 4. Nasema equals. Then you divide by 4 shifts factorial, where there is factorial, nasema equals. So the answer that you should get is in that form. It is like this: 0.001089. Have we gotten that? 5 PS, if you have gotten that. Okay, yes, Wajiro. It is somewhere. It's somewhere there. Look for it. Eliana. Iko kwa calculator, itafute kabisa. Itafute. Different calculators have it on different locations. That's why I started kukwambia uangalie wapi. Lakini angalia vizuri, utaiona hiyo imeandikwa hivyo. Angalia pole pole. Different calculators, they have it different. The next one, you are told to do the same using binomial distribution. So for the binomial distribution, the formula, we know probability that x is equal to x is given as NCX, P you raised by x, Q you raised by n minus x. So for the interest of time, P, that is the success, it is 0.015. Q is 0.985 because they must add to 1. N is 30 machines and X is 4. X is 4. And that therefore probability that X is 4, we are going to have 30 combined 4 multiplied by 0.015 raised to power 4 multiplied by 0.985 raised to power 30 minus 4, that is 26. Eliana, I hope umeiona. Aya, basi tuangalie hii ingine. Even this one, NCR is on different sites. So siwezi nikakwambia yako iko wapi, but utafute mahali kumeandikwa NCR. Okay, that's good. Eliana. So let's do this. 30 for me, I will say shift. For combine, wengine you don't need to say shift kama iko juu. 4 times 0.015 raised to power 4 times 0.985 raised to power 26 equals. So the answer that I'm getting is 0.0009356. So when you are told to combine or comment, you will say the answers are equal, are similar in 3 decimals. If you are to express them in 3 decimals, they will be 0.001. If you are to express them as decimals, they will be like that. So that question is also a little bit, but it's okay because you know how to compute Poisson and you know how to compute distribution. But it's a question where we are supposed to teach you how to convert from binomial to Poisson and whichever, but your syllabus does not allow that. But ikiletwa ikiwa independent, you solve Poisson and you solve binomial, that is okay. So if we are okay, I wish to correct direction at that point so that I can get enough time to rush home. Is that okay? There's Rihanna. Welcome, Rihanna. So we call it a day at that point and hope to meet tomorrow. Thank you so much.